Here is the first thing almost nobody tells you. Every time you forget to pray and then feel bad about it, your brain quietly ties prayer to a bad feeling. Praying becomes the thing that reminds you that you failed, and your mind runs away from things that make it feel like a failure. So the guilt does not push you toward God. It pushes you further away. You skip a day, you feel guilty. The guilt makes prayer feel heavy, so you skip again to avoid the heaviness. That is the trap, and you have probably been living inside it without knowing it had a name. So the very first move is not to try harder. It is to drop the guilt completely. God is not up there with a clipboard, counting the days you missed. Jesus did not die so you could earn a gold star for showing up. He died so that the door would stay open even on the days you forget. Read that again. The door stays open. When you finally understand that missing a day does not lower your worth in His eyes, prayer stops being a test you keep failing and starts being a place you get to return to. And a place you want to return to is a place you actually remember. Now here is the second thing, and this one changes everything. You keep forgetting because you made prayer too big. Somewhere along the way you got the idea that real prayer means 20 minutes on your knees, eyes closed, perfect words, deep focus. So every day your brain looks at that giant task and quietly says, "Not now. I do not have time for the whole thing." And it keeps saying, "Not now," until the day is gone. You are not forgetting because you do not care. You are forgetting because the version of prayer in your head is so large that it never fits. So shrink it. Make it almost embarrassingly small. 1 sentence, 10 seconds. God, I am here. Walk with me today. That is a real prayer. That counts. That is heard in heaven exactly like an hour of it, because God is not measuring the length. He is looking at the fact that you turned toward Him at all. A father does not need his child to write a speech. He just wants the child to look up and say, "Dad." When you make prayer this small, it stops being a mountain you avoid and becomes a step you can take anywhere. In the car, in line, in bed. And here is the secret nobody expects. The tiny prayer almost always grows on its own. You start with 10 seconds, and some days it turns into 10 minutes. Not because you forced it, but because you finally showed up long enough for something real to begin. And that leads straight into the third thing, which is the actual mechanism that ends the forgetting. You have to chain prayer to something you already never forget. Remember how we said, prayer keeps floating with no home? This is how you give it one. You do not try to remember prayer by itself. You attach it to a thing you already do without thinking. You already wake up. You already drink water. You already lie down at night. So you glue the prayer to that. The moment my feet touch the floor in the morning, I say my 1 sentence. Before the first sip of coffee, 1 sentence. Head hits the pillow, 1 sentence. Now, you are not relying on memory at all. The thing you never forget carries the thing you always forget. Your feet hitting the floor becomes the alarm bell for your soul. This is the shift I promised you at the start, and it is so simple that people hear it and almost do not believe it works. But it works because it stops asking your willpower to do a job that a habit can do for free. Now let me tell you the fourth thing, because this is where most people quietly give up. You are going to miss days anyway. Even with the tiny prayer, even with the anchor, some days will slip. And the moment that happens, an old voice will show up and say, "See, you failed again. You are just not a prayer person. Give up." That voice is not from God. That voice is the exact same trap from the beginning, wearing a new mask. The people who pray every day are not the people who never miss. They are the people who missed and came back without making it a whole event. You do not restart your streak with shame. You just pray the next one. That is it. No apology speech. No 7 days of guilt. No starting over on Monday. You missed yesterday, so you pray right now. The chain is never broken as long as the very next link is close. And here is the fifth thing, the one that turns a habit into a hunger. Start noticing what prayer actually does to your day, out loud, in the moment. Most people pray and then move on so fast they never connect the dots. So when something goes right, When you feel a strange calm in a hard moment, when a worry that was crushing you suddenly feels lighter, stop and say, "That was you. Thank you." Because when you start seeing the answers, prayer stops feeling like a chore you owe and starts feeling like a line to someone who is actually listening. And you do not forget to call someone who answers. You forget to call a wall. You never forget to call a friend. The more you catch God moving, the more prayer stops being on your to-do list and starts being the first thing your heart reaches for. This is the last piece, and it is the one almost everyone experiences, but very few recognize while it is happening. The moment prayer flips from something you have to remember into something you cannot go without. So let me bring this all the way home, because I do not want you to just understand this. I want it to actually change tomorrow morning. You do not forget to pray because you are a bad Christian. You forget because prayer had no home, because it felt too big, because it was chained to nothing, because guilt kept pushing you away, and because you never stopped to see it working. Every one of those has a fix, and every fix is small. Drop the guilt. The door is open. Make it 1 sentence, 10 seconds. Glue it to something you already do. When you miss, just pray the next one. And when you see it working, say, "Thank you" out loud. None of this requires you to become a different person. It just requires you to stop making prayer a mountain and start letting it be what it always was. A child looking up at a father who never once walked away. Not on your best day, and not on the day you forgot him entirely. He was there the whole time. He is there right now, reading these words with you. The forgetting was never a sign that you do not belong to him. It was just a habit with no home. And now you know exactly how to give it one. So do not wait for Sunday. Do not wait until you feel holy enough. The moment this video ends, before you scroll to the next thing, say your 1 sentence. "God, I am here." 3 words. That is your first link in a chain that does not have to break again. Because the truth is, he was never far. You were just trying to remember something that had nowhere to land. Give it a place today, and you will look up in a month and realize you did not forget once. Not because you finally became disciplined, but because you finally let it come home. And if that stirred something in you, if part of you felt him closer just now, that is not the video. That is him. Do not let it fade when the screen goes dark. Say the words. He's listening.